Today, we're diving into something super important, but totally approachable, that affects millions of people, maybe even you or someone you love. But most don't even know it exists. We're talking about insulin and insulin resistance, and what some doctors are calling the hidden epidemic of our time. We're going back to look at how the food we eat can make or break our health. Don't worry, I'm keeping this fun, light, and easy to understand. By the end of this video, you'll understand what insulin is, how it works in your body, why so many people are becoming resistant to it, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. And don't worry, I promise to keep this light and simple. No medical degree required. So grab a snack, just not a donut, and let's get started. First up, let's talk about insulin. Picture your body as a busy city. Your bloodstream is the road network, and insulin is like the coolest delivery driver ever. It's a hormone made by your pancreas, and its job is to deliver glucose, that's sugar, is like little delivery trucks carrying energy packages to all your cells. The energy your cells need to keep you moving, thinking, and maybe even busting out some dance moves. But here's the deal. Your cells can't just grab glucose from your blood. Your cells have security gates, and those little gates only open when insulin, a hormone made by your pancreas, comes along with the proper key. In a healthy body, it works like clockwork. You eat food. Blood sugar rises, pancreas releases the insulin, insulin opens up the gates to your cells, glucose enters your cells to be used as energy. Blood sugar levels return to normal. They need insulin to unlock the door like a key that says, "Yo, glucose, come on in." Without insulin, glucose just floats around in your blood, causing all sorts of chaos. So insulin is a total superhero. Pretty elegant system, right? Your body is amazing at keeping your blood sugar in a very narrow, healthy range. At least that's how it's supposed to work. Now, where does glucose come from? Great question. It mostly comes from the food we eat. Let's talk about what happens when different foods hit your system. Carbohydrates. Think bread, pasta, rice, or even that juicy apple. Carbs break down into glucose super fast, like a sports car zooming down the highway. It's like dumping fuel into a fire. Your blood sugar spikes fast, and your pancreas has to pump out insulin quickly in response. Now let's look at proteins, like chicken, eggs, grass-fed beef, can also turn into glucose, but it's more like a leisurely beach bike ride, nice and slow. Proteins do convert partially to glucose, but much more slowly. It's more like adding a log to a fire, steady energy that burns longer. Fats like avocado and butter, they're chill. They don't really turn into glucose at all. They're more like your body's savings account for energy. They barely affect your blood sugar at all. They're completely metabolized, completely different. Now here's where it gets interesting and concerning. The standard American diet is absolutely loaded with carbohydrates and sugar. We're talking about, breakfast cereals, sandwiches and wraps, pasta dinners, bread, sweetened drinks, sodas, snacks, desserts, chips. This means many people are spiking their blood sugar and insulin levels multiple times every single day. If you're eating a ton of carbs all the time, like say a bagel for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and pasta for dinner, your body's constantly dealing with a glucose party in your blood. Your pancreas has to keep churning out insulin to keep up. It's like a barista during the morning coffee rush. Over time, this can lead to something called insulin resistance. Some doctors are calling this the hidden epidemic of our time. So what insulin resistance? Imagine your cells are like teenagers who've heard the same song on repeat too many times. They start ignoring insulin's knocks at the door, like, insulin again? I'm not listening. That's essentially what happens with insulin resistance. When insulin keeps showing up at your cell's doorstep day after day, year after year, your cell starts to tune it out. This happens when your body's flooded with glucose from too many carbs, and your poor pancreas does what seems logical. It makes more insulin to get the same job done. It's like having to shout louder and louder and louder to get someone's attention. The result? High blood sugar, which is a big warning sign for prediabetes or even type 2 diabetes. This is hyperinsulinemia, high levels of insulin circulating all the time, and it's not good news for your body. Your cells are now resistant to insulin signals. Blood sugar stays elevated longer than it should, and your pancreas is working overtime. This is insulin resistance, and here's the scary part. By some estimates, up to 88% of American adults have some degree of insulin resistance, but most don't even know it because standard blood tests don't catch it until it's quite advanced. Over time, this situation just gets worse. Your cells become more resistant, your pancreas pumps out more insulin, until eventually your poor pancreas starts to burn out. It simply can't keep up with the demand. This is the path that leads to prediabetes and eventually type 2 diabetes. But even before you hit those official diagnoses, insulin resistance is wreaking havoc on your body. High insulin levels contribute to weight gain, especially that around the midsection, chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, abnormal cholesterol, increased risk of heart disease, polycystic ovary syndrome in women, even certain types of cancer. It's not just about diabetes. Insulin resistance is at the root of many modern chronic diseases. But don't panic. This isn't a doom and gloom story. So how did we find ourselves in this mess? Well, our modern food environment is almost perfectly designed to create insulin resistance. For most of human history, we ate whole unprocessed foods. We had periods of feast and famine. Our bodies were built to handle occasional carbohydrates, not the constant sugar bath we give them today. Let's talk about the big culprit. The standard American diet, ironically abbreviated as SAD, is a recent invention. Ultra-processed foods make up nearly 60% of calories for the average American. Added sugars hide in everything from sauce to salad dressing. Inflammatory seed oils are in virtually all packaged foods. Portion size have exploded. We snack constantly, giving our insulin levels no break. Combine this with more sedentary lifestyles, chronic stress, poor sleep, and environmental toxins, and you have created the perfect storm for metabolic disaster. Insulin resistance is often caused by lifestyle, especially diet, and that means we can do something about it. This diet is packed with processed carbs like sugary cereals, giant sodas, and those muffins that are basically cupcakes in disguise. It's like feeding your body a sugary tsunami all day, every day. No wonder 1 in 3 Americans has prediabetes, and 88% of adults have some level of insulin resistance. The standard American diet keeps your blood sugar spiking like a roller coaster, overworking your pancreas and making your cells more and more insulin resistant. Over time, this can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and again, a whole bunch of health problems that are way too common in the Western world. But here's that good news again. We can fight back with food. Insulin resistance is reversible, especially in its earlier stages. Your body has an amazing capacity to heal when you give it the right environment. Let's talk about dietary approaches that have shown remarkable success in improving insulin sensitivity. So let's talk about 2 diets that are like superheroes for reversing insulin resistance: the ketogenic diet and the carnivore diet. Many people see dramatic improvements in their blood sugar, insulin levels, and even their weight within just weeks of starting. The ketogenic diet drastically reduces carbohydrates, typically to under 50 grams per day, which is less than you'd find in just one bagel. This diet reduces the insulin demand on your pancreas, forces your body to burn fat for fuel instead of sugar, lowers the inflammation, helps reset metabolic hormones. This is all about low carbs, moderate proteins, and high healthy fats. Think avocados, eggs, salmon, and maybe a little butter on your veggies. By cutting way down on carbs, your body doesn't need as much insulin, and your cells start paying attention to insulin again. It's like giving your pancreas a tropical vacation, pina colada and all. Many people see dramatic improvements in their blood sugar, insulin levels, and even their weight within just weeks of starting a ketogenic diet. Studies show keto can lower blood sugar, reverse prediabetes, and even help some people manage type 2 diabetes without meds. Pretty awesome, right? For some people with severe insulin resistance or autoimmune issues, this approach has been nothing short of life-changing. Then there's a carnivore diet, which is like keto's intense cousin. It's basically all meat all the time: steak, bacon, eggs, you name it. It eliminates all plant compounds that might cause inflammation or digestive issues. Provides highly bioavailable nutrients, contains virtually zero carbohydrates, eliminates processed foods entirely. Zero carbs means almost no glucose spikes, which can be a total game changer for people with severe insulin resistance or diabetes or autoimmune issues. This approach has been nothing short of life-changing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Eating only meat sounds wild, and yeah, these diets aren't for everyone. Always chat with a doctor before making big changes. But the science is clear. Low-carb diets like keto and carnivore can work wonders for getting your blood sugar back on track. Now, let me share a few quick stories of transformation. These aren't unusual cases. They represent what's possible when you address the root cause. James, 45, reversed his prediabetes in 3 months on a ketogenic diet. His doctor was stunned when his blood work came back normal. Myself, pre-diabetic, high glucose levels. I opted to go for the carnivore diet. Within 4 months, all my glucose levels back to normal. So this is personal for me because I know how it's helped me, and I hope I can help somebody else one day, understanding that just by diet, things can make big improvements. These aren't miracles. They're what happens when you understand how your body works and give it what it needs. So what can you do today to start improving your insulin sensitivity? Here are some practical steps. Try small swaps, like ditching sugary sodas for sparkling water or swapping your morning cereal for eggs and bacon. Focus on whole foods, veggies, meats, eggs, and healthy fats like avocado. Drastically reduce your carbohydrate intake. Focus on those whole food sources, like vegetables rather than grains or sugars. Eat enough protein. Aim for at least 0.7 grams per pound of body weight daily. Don't fear healthy fats. Avocados, grass-fed beef and butter, eggs, fatty fish. These are your friends. Consider time-restricted eating. Even just a 12-hour overnight fast gives your insulin levels time to drop. Prioritize sleep. Poor sleep can cause insulin resistance all by itself. Move your body. Muscle contractions can shuttle glucose into cells even without insulin. One of exercise's superpowers. Manage stress. Chronic stress hormones can block insulin from working properly. If you're curious about keto or carnivore, do some research and ease into it. Your body will thank you with more energy, better blood sugar, and a happier pancreas. You don't have to go full carnivore overnight. You don't have to make all these changes at once. Small, consistent steps in the right direction can lead to big results over time. Remember, your body wants to heal. It wants to be in balance. Sometimes we just need to get out of its own way and give it the right tools. If you're concerned about insulin resistance, consider asking your doctor for more comprehensive testing than just a basic glucose test. Fasting insulin levels and a glucose tolerance test with insulin measurements can reveal issues much earlier. I hope this video has helped you understand why so many of us are struggling with our health, and more importantly, what you can do about it. There's no magic pill, just your amazing body's ability to heal when given the right environment. My intention is to leave you feeling inspired to take charge of your health. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on optimizing your health. Drop a comment if you have questions or if there's another health topic you'd like me to cover. Also comment below and tell me one food you're swapping out to keep your blood sugar happy. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on that next one.